Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan Qasim, and our guest today is Anisha. So Anisha, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do.
Hi, Danny. Thank you for having me on the show. My name's Anisha Bhandari. I am the founder and CEO of Sentry Skin.
And where are you based out of?
I'm based out of New York City.
So I'm just curious about your story. What is Sentry Skin, and what gave you the idea to start this company?
Yeah, so Sentry Skin is a agentic AI company, and what we do is we work closely with B2B skincare, hair care, and wellness companies on enhancing their e-commerce D2C channels. And we do that by creating custom chatbots, by providing our custom skincare and skin analysis API that we've built. We have a skin scanner available, and we have data analytics providing directly to our consumers. And I came up with this idea about 2 years ago when I was frustrated with buying a lot of makeup products that I had been for the last 30 something years. And these products, they don't work well for my skin type. And myself, along with a lot of my friends, are constantly struggling with buying products that are best suited for who we are, for our skincare, for our skin type. And there are thousands and thousands of CPG products available on the market. They're all largely, they'll have like an ingredient on the packaging. It'll say hyaluronic acid is good for you. But when you put it on, you don't know if it's a good quality hyaluronic acid. You don't know if it's something that is actually going to damage your skin or irritate your skin. So I developed this tool so that companies could better serve their customers.
So can you just kind of like dive into the flow? Like somebody, for example, goes like on the site and they start chatting and then they kind of guide them. Like what does that process look like?
Yeah, so any of our clients who we've built our tooling out for, a customer can go onto their direct e-commerce website, chat and engage with the chatbot, and the chatbot will then guide that customer towards buying products that are better suited for their skin. So the chatbots are custom trained, and our engineering team ensures that they're high quality, high touch solutions where the customer feels like they're having almost a one-on-one interaction with a dermatologist or with a salesperson directly at the company. So this creates buyer trust, it creates user trust, and it creates a lot of sales in a way where customers feel like they're confident with what they're buying.
So is somebody using like their mobile phone, it's like scanning their face, or like how do they kind of know which product is the best for their skin?
Yeah, so someone can scan their face if that feature has been paid for by our clients. Not every client has asked for that, but some have. You can scan your face. It'll give you like a really high level analysis without providing dermatological guidance. And then based on that analysis, it will then provide you with a product set or a guideline on what to purchase.
So I guess like if they're not scanning their face, how else can they tell like, which product makes the most sense? Is it just based on like, do you put in like your skin tone or the chemicals? Like how do you kind of know like, which one makes the most sense?
So we start with like basic demographic data. So we ask like how old you are, what race you are, your skin type, or any known sensitivities you may have. And then we take those sensitivities and our model will then spit out answers that are more relevant to the data that we know is relevant to your skin type.
So yeah, I'm curious if you can kind of share like a use case, maybe even like without mentioning the client name, just how you've helped one of your clients increase sales or increase conversions with your product.
Yeah, so with our product, we have been working with a skincare brand as well as a hair care brand right now. We launched in February of 2025, so just 2.5 months ago. We closed 3 deals, and these companies were driving traffic to their e-commerce websites, but they weren't seeing sales conversions. And that was largely because they weren't household names. They're small B2C products that the large consumers don't know about, right? So they come to the website, you engage with our chatbot, and once you engage with the chatbot, you then start understanding what that product line offers. And based on the product line's offering, you then purchase based on what your personal needs are. So this only works with the assumption that somebody is visiting a skincare or a hair care website with some sort of a basic need. Like, for example, if you're buying a shampoo because your hair is greasy or you inevitably have to wash it twice a week. And then people actually have more knowledge than they think they do about the products that they are currently using and what they're looking for in the market. So we go through these questionnaires and analysis, and and then we provide them with a product set or a guideline on use this shampoo at this time, use this conditioner at this time, use this hair serum, and these you'll see improvement in your hair products. So I currently use one of my clients' hair products, and my hair, I've seen a big improvement in my hair.
That's awesome. It's like essentially that makes total sense. So it's smaller brands trying to get their name out there, and if people are not certain about, hey, could this product work for me, then this questionnaire kind of helps self-qualify them for it to make sense, saying, hey, like, listen, like this product might work or this product might not work, or they have this recommendation just based on, to your point, their skin type, ethnicity, age, etc.
Exactly. And we also further tailor it depending on the conversational flow and what all the product manufacturer has done in terms of their research. So most manufacturers and companies have done quite a bit of research to see who their target buyer is and what type of skin that person has. We match that data together.
And so in terms of where this adds the most value, does this really like only work on direct to consumer sites, or do you see it working on different type of sites or different verticals? Like what is kind of like your vision? I know that you just launched it a couple of months ago here, but in terms of like the future goals for your product?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So for us at Sentry Skin, we are trying to scale and get as many clients in the B2C consumer space. This is a $30 billion industry right now in the small to medium sized skincare industry. And we're hoping to capture that. There are no major players in this industry at the moment. And our product is in terms of the competitors we do have, our efficiency, our accuracy of our models is higher than the ones we've seen on the market. My future plan is to continue to scale the company and become like a strong industry leader in skincare diagnostic tools, as well as wellness tools and purchasing and data aggregation. We have a lot of sales data of who's buying what, and that in and of itself is quite valuable. So we're hoping to scale the company and become a major player in this field.
So is your vision also to be more of like an enterprise player in the future, maybe websites like Sephora, places like that?
Yeah, so I'm in conversation with some enterprise clients at the moment. So I think it'll be in the near future. By end of Q3 2025, we hope to close a few enterprise clients. And really where we are going to see a strong growth will be in not only enterprise clients, but also the small to medium sized businesses. They don't have a Robinhood that can come in and implement the same toolkit that is available at Sephora. But that's where we come in. So we have a strong toolkit available for the smaller businesses. And there are thousands of them. So if I can capture 2% of a $30 billion market, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, for sure. And then in terms of like actually going out and growing your business, like if you go to conferences or just doing like cold outreach, like what has been like the way so far that you've onboarded and acquired your first few clients?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I have been doing founder-led sales. I have been attending quite a few conferences. I've made a lot of relationships around New York City. I've talked to a lot of beauty and CPG founders, and it's been relationship building. It's been attending conferences. It's been doing live demos. And we're hoping in the near future to continue that.
For sure. And then in terms of like from the AI side of things, so is a product 100% based on AI, or do you have like live humans chatting there as well? Like, what does that flow look like?
Yeah, so as of right now, we are 100% agentic AI, as well as our computer vision tool is 100% built on a proprietary model that we have access to. And we don't have any human engagement once we deploy our product onto the website.
So how much time does a process usually take when somebody's being onboarded to actually train the model to make it effective for their website? I mean, obviously it gets dependent, I'm sure, on like how many SKUs, but, what does that process typically look like?
It depends the number of SKUs that the person has. So we charge based on the number of SKUs you have, but we go anywhere from 2 weeks to up to 6 weeks to do the implementation. And that includes testing as well.
And then, yeah, I mean, I think in terms of like your product, it definitely has lots of value. It's like if we were to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for your business?
Yeah, so a year from now, so we're about to close a fundraise at the moment. So a year from now, and I have 3 people joining in May of 2025 team. A year from now, we are hoping that we will have a solid net profit and at least 5 big enterprise clients, as well as a bigger team out of New York.
So do you feel like that the product can also work on marketplaces like a Walmart.com or Amazon, or do you view it as just really strictly more D2C websites?
We prefer the D2C route. We're very aware that Walmart and any of the current e-commerce, the bigger players have the technical capabilities to build in-house what we have already built. What we are offering is a Robinhood type of a solution to smaller companies that are very strong products, but they don't have the technical capacity to build this type of tooling within their engineering stack. So we offer that service.
So obviously that you've been doing it for some time, or that you just launched a couple months ago, but you started this process before that. So if you could go back in time to before you got started, what is like the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew?
So I would say I should have started probably earlier on the B2C, B2B side of the company. I think I definitely spent about 8 months doing research on trying to be a B2C company, a consumer facing company, and that ended up not being a good use of my time. And we ended up deploying B2B, and it all in all ended up working out, but I should have probably gone the B2B route earlier.
So like initially you kind of view this as more of like an end consumer product, just to be out there in the market to recommend to anybody. But you're like, okay, well, like it probably the opportunity makes more sense to sell to people like owning these brands to kind of help guide them on things like on their websites.
Yeah, it made more sense that way. I was able to, I also am supporting a lot of smaller businesses, female-owned businesses, and I feel good about that versus creating my own marketplace, going up against Amazon, TikTok Shop, Walmart. Like it's just too hard of a reach. But we do have a lot of consumer data. We will continue to track a lot of consumer data. So that later on we know is going to be valuable.
That's awesome. And that makes sense. So if somebody watching this wanted to work with you, do you mind sharing your website or social media? I guess best ways to get in contact.
Yeah. So the best way to get in contact with me is you can send an email at anisha@sentryskin.ai. You can find me on LinkedIn, Anisha Bhandari, or you can check out our website at www.sentryskin.
Anisha, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you, Dan. It was great talking to you.